Okay, so in video 3, we're going to be inserting footnotes and citations and inserting headers and footers. Two very important things for a report. So with citations, you can either do, I'm sure you've heard this before when you've had to type reports or something in English class with APA formatting and MLA formatting. And we're going to get there in just a second, explaining the difference. But the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and insert footnote. So let's type up here in our field the word recommended. And it's jumping right down here. Perfect. I'm going to X out of that now. And I just wanted to find where I needed to be on the page. So it's now I want to click to the right of the word footprint. So right here. And what a footnote is, it's going to give me a footnote when I insert it, and then it's going to jump down to the bottom of my page. So if I have one footnote, it's going to be a number 1 with a number 1. If I click to insert another footnote, it's going to be a number 2, and it's going to jump down with a number 2, explaining what the purpose of my footnote is and kind of a definition of what this is. So we are going to click right there. I guess, again, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Oh, it's not here anymore. Let's just go all the way up top. And as I scroll down right there, insert footnote, and I believe it's on a different tab as well. So with this, I do not want to change anything. I can make different symbols with my footnotes, but we're just going to leave it at 1, 2, 3, and so on. So just go ahead and insert. So right there you can see it's aligned already, but it's a number 1, and then it jumped me to the bottom of my page. So I'm going to go ahead and type what the reducing carbon footprint even means. Okay, so there is our footnote. You will have to do that in your assignments. Now I want to click and make sure I'm still on page 3 in my thumbnail, and I'm going to find a quote, which is right here. So again, in a report, if you don't want to be caught for plagiarism, this is someone else's material and sources and words, so we are going to cite this. All right, so this again is really important. I know a lot of you use something on the internet to put it in their bib, something, but we're just going to use this. This all has to do with the references tab. Oop, and there's my insert footnote. It got moved to this tab. So either way, I could have done insert footnote on references tab or all the way up top. So with my first source that I'm going to add in here, I am going to click. There's a couple different ways I could do this. I like to see everything in the dialog box, so I'm going to click my citations button. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources. Excuse me, and I'm going to add another one. So again, my insertion point is right here. To add a new source, if I already had one I was using, I would just double click over here. To add a new source, I'm going to click the plus sign here. Just click yes. It's going to update. And I'm going to type everything in. Now I need to make sure I have the type of source. For the most part, I'd say we always do website, but this is an article in a periodical. I wonder who knows what that is. We're just going to go ahead and fill all of this out. And this is what determines what our works cited looks like. Oh, what am I saying? Year. All right, we just said okay. There it is. And it jumps in over here. So now I have my source in there. Okay, a couple more things. We are going to Scroll all the way to the end of our document and click on that blank line on the last line on page 4. I want always my works cited to be on its own page. So we all know how to do this. We're going to create a page break. Go to the Layout tab, Break Page. So now I'm going to scroll down. I have my own page. We can close out of the Citations dialog box on the right, and now I'm on my own page. Back to our References tab. All we are going to do, and depending on, so right now by default, I am on my APA formatting. In your assignment, I believe we're going to do the MLA, but we'll wait when we get there. I want to insert the works cited. It shows up in 2 different ways depending on what we choose. I know in one of your assignments you do click on bibliography, but in this case, I'm going to click on my bibliography button and choose works cited. And there it is inserted. Go ahead and hit Command Save. And now we are going to insert a header and footer. You can be on an APA format. You never want to be on the first page when you do this. And I'll explain why later. But we are going to click the Insert button. And over here we have Header. And I'm always just going to choose, let's go with this second one, the second option here. Usually I just choose the first, but we're going to choose the second. So I'm going to click this placeholder, left aligned, and delete. And I'm going to click the one that's center aligned and delete. And I'm going to click the right one and type my name and hit the space bar. So when I do page numbers, I never want to type the page number because that same page number is going to show up all the time. In my header and footer, never go back to the insert tab, but in my header and footer tab, I have page number. And the one I always want you to choose is that top one and hit OK. So I am on page 5 and there is my page 5 number. So in APA formatting, if I scroll up, keep going, there's 4, 3, 2, and 1. In APA formatting, we do not need to see the first page. So I am going to put a check mark in different first page, and that does happen in one of your assignments. So when I scroll back up, that's gone. You can go ahead and scroll down. There's 2 ways you can do this. I'm already in my header and footer, or you could have inserted footer. So I'm going to scroll down to one of my footers. Not on page 1, sorry. Make sure the thumbnails are helping you out. I'm currently on page 2, and it's really simple. I click the date and time button, and I'm just going to go with the first default date. And that is it for page numbers. We can close out of the header and footer by closing that or hitting the escape key. Command S, I think one of the things you need to know is it would not print out this way, but while you're working on the document, the header and footer show up in a light gray, almost transparent color.